Kemet, the righteousness and the wickedness. Let's talk about it. Although this conversation is about Kemet, I want all you young people to know that you can apply this information to all the various religions and all the various schools of teachings, and basically in any situation where a group of people are attracted. And this goes for Hebrew Israelites, Buddhists, Christians. You can often hear the Christians say, drink the blood of Christ. So this is why a lot of times you'll hear me tell young people to avoid the conscious community. It's not that I don't want you to still, be conscious and look for decent things, but I don't want you to get involved with any group. So let me break down the righteousness and the wickedness, the good and the evil, when you're talking about Kemet. Coming up as a young Kemetic Rasta man, a lot of times we would go to Sunrise concerts, and when you go to see Sunrise, that's where all the other Kemetic brothers and sisters would come out. A lot of times this is the only way you would see each other. If you were to go on a tour with him and follow him on a tour, which I never did, you can see all the Kemetic people in the United States at that time, late 70s, early 80s. And Summer always had a very positive, angelic aura. But when you're talking about Kemet, and we could start out by talking about the music that's involved with Kemet, it's not all positive. Now, before I go on to break all this down, let me explain to you something about the history of Kemet. Kemet was a place that was set up by lords and lordesses, gods and angels and archangels. And wherever you have angels, you will have falling angels. And so after the horrible situation with Nimrod, that I won't go into, and after all of the negative energy in Atlantis and Mu, which I won't go into, we come to Kemet. And when everybody started gathering in Kemet, it was the same situation, a lot of positivity and a lot of negativity. See, when you get on a higher level, a level of the magi, of the magic, it could be used anyway. For example, a lot of people watch my videos and you see me talk. I'm just doing it for free, and I'm just sharing information with younger people and people internationally. I could easily take this God gift that I have, and I could be preaching right now. I could be cheating people out of their money with the same talent that I'm using to talk to you all. That power can go negative or positive. And so in Kemet, this is what you had. You had a lot of high, strong, positive energy, but you also had a lot of very high and strong negative energy. And you'll see a lot of people that are not really masters on the knowledge of Kemet. You'll see them try to trash Akhenaten, or as you want to pronounce it, Akhenaton. They want to trash him because he closed down all the temples and came with the Aten, the Aten. But what they don't tell you is what was going on, all of the fuckery and wickedness that were going on in those temples, the reason he closed those temples down. There was a lot of corruption and wickedness going on in Kemet. And when these lords and angels and archangels and fallen angels were there and the negative energy started to take over, that started to manifest all throughout Africa, and it had a lot to do with the reason that Africa was conquered. Now, if you look in music, you'll see a lot of people have Kemetic symbols and energy in their music. But don't be mistaken, all of this energy is not positive energy. You know, I had a person ask me one time when I talked about sunrise, they asked me about earth, wind, and fire. Because a lot of people that's in the Kemet have this idea that earth, wind, and fire represented positive black consciousness. This is totally wrong. Earth, wind, and fire represents the dark side, the side of wickedness and evil. As a matter of fact, the first big record, I'm a DJ, so I have all the records. I've been having records since I was a kid, you know, and I used to play records for my parents, and as I grew, I just kept buying records. And I went into different music genres. I buy all type of music. Well, Earth, Wind, and Fire's first big hit record, guess what the name of their first big record that they got their break was? The name of that record was called Evil. So, as of today, you still have that same energy going on. You have that energy between the positive and the negative. And the negative is more quicker to use magic and to use spells than the positive. So, you know, you have a lot of people telling you young people to contact the ancestors, pour out libations for the ancestors. They got you doing stuff you don't even know what you're doing. They got you doing things you don't even know what you're doing because your blood, your DNA is the DNA of your ancestors. And your ancestors are inside of you. And those that are righteous are able to be here and be reincarnated forever. And those that are wicked are basically not blessed with a body to live in and they're ghosts. They wander around. So if you have to go outside of your body to contact a so-called ancestor, guess what type of spirit that is? That ain't no righteous spirit because it would already be within you. Wouldn't be floating around. You got to be careful people trying to teach you to worship things floating all around. You know, Christ was a real man. Wasn't no shit floating around. God is a physical being. the goddess, the great goddess, his wife, is a physical being. They not no shit floating around. All that shit floating around is wickedness. It's not positive. All the angels and archangels and things like that, they are physical. They're physical. They can make themselves be unseen, but they are physical. Whereas the wicked ones are unseen and cannot manifest themselves in a physical form. This is a fact. I remember it was 90 something. The brother came to me and he said, man, you know, we can get this thing like a passport and, you know, we'll be sovereign. And he's telling me about this Egyptian place in Georgia. Come to find out later that was Dr. York's place. But when the brother was telling me, I wasn't trying to hear that shit because I'm not getting involved with no cult. Later when I go and I check this out and check this information out, I'm like, I can't believe people don't know that Dr. York was demonic. This is why as he became more and more evil, this is how come he went from all them different religions and he ended up manifesting in a Kemetic form, because that's where the highest negative energy he was going to be able to get. That's where you're going to get the highest positive energy, and that's where you're going to get the highest negative energy. And that's what he was pulling on. He was pulling on that negative energy. That whole place was nothing but a cesspool of sex and wickedness. Anybody can't see that motherfucker was crazy, you out your damn mind. As soon as you see a nigga and he a Hebrew and he a Muslim and he a this and he a that and he a that, the motherfucker's crazy. As soon as you see a people sleeping with all these different women, taking motherfuckers' wives, doing all type of shit, what make you think the motherfucker's righteous? And you can't expect people that been molested and raped and shit, allegedly, are right there with them, other people that was participating in it, you can't expect them to say it was wickedness going on down there, because that's going to be an indictment on them. Who think he was the only one doing it? When these people have these cults and they have this, they use this witchcraft and this negative energy to start something, they pull in a lot of positive people. And they use those positive energies, people looking for righteousness, as camouflage. And then they pull in wicked energy. And them and their cronies, their group of fallen angels, run through these group of people doing all type of foul, negative things. So if you look at the case of Dr. York, all his supporters, the ones that was dead as gung-ho, that's because they was doing the same shit. On God, they was doing the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Because the reality is, Dr. York ain't the only one supposed to be punished. All of those supporters that supported that fuckery under the name of Kemet within the black community, they all supposed to really face some type of judgment, if you ask me. I mean, I'm not going to listen to some little boy that probably done had all type of shit done to him tell me Dr. York was innocent. Yeah, I bet he was innocent. Yeah, whatever, nigga. Yeah, I hear you, motherfucker. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's bullshit. That Kemetic energy they use to exploit people and do negative shit. Africa Bambaataa did the same thing. Y'all don't see the pattern? Africa Bambaataa went under that Kemetic wickedness to do all his shit. And like I say, people do it under being Hebrews, Christians, Islam. They use everything that's got the power to attract people, attracts negative energy. And this negative energy wants to be famous, wants to pull off the fame. So it comes and it uses positive energy and pulls it in and converts it to negative energy. By appearing to be positive, they're able to pull in a lot of other positive people as camouflage. This happens all the time. And then they hide within this camouflage and they do their wickedness. So you see some dude acting like he the holy man out in some country, talking about he living in nature, and he got all these people following. Guarantee you this motherfucker is demonic. So, that's why I tell you young people, do your own thing. Do your own thing. Study. Try to be righteous. Try to eat righteous. Do not get involved with any groups. Do not. Because groups attract positive and negative. And guess who's more aggressive? The negative. The positive is usually chilled out. The negative is aggressive. Because we're having a hard time getting positive people to be aggressive. That's why I come in at. Positive people, you are going to have to be more aggressive. You're going to have to stop letting the negative be more aggressive than you. You cannot let Luciferians and negative energy be the most aggressive. You have to be the most aggressive. But, people think they're supposed to be positive. They be laid back. They let these negative energy come in, running this mouth and running everything and misleading the people. And when these people get misled, it does damage for how long? Look how much damage the New Orleans did to the black community with that fuckery. Come on, man. I can't believe niggas listen to Dr. York, because Dr. York used to diss Kemet. And then turned right around and built some big-ass bootleg Kemetic shit down there. And see, you've seen the story of Kemet get played out over and over again. Dr. York and them went down there. They want to be on negativity, hidden like it was positivity. But then, even that is weak, because if you're negativity hidden positivity, you're not going to be able to beat negativity that's just straight up negativity. So them white police and shit down there that be on real negativity, tell me they didn't go tear all that shit down and fuck that shit up, because like you a bootleg negative. These motherfuckers was all the way negative. So there was no match when the real negativity came and slammed this motherfucking ass and broke up that whole shit, never to be put back together again. Real talk. Half-ass, trying to play on the people and hiding under Kemet. And you're going to see a lot of that shit. You have to watch these people talking that Kemet shit and make sure they righteous. Got a lot of wicked people talking Kemet. People going to try to tell you and double, triple talk and flip back talk. That's what you got going on in hip hop. That's what you got going in music with the TV. That's what you got going in the conscious community. You got people talking all this shit. One reason, you had people, as soon as I came out, the demons started running. He, you know what I'm saying? You could see this, you could see the fucking sorcery jumping off for motherfuckers. So the fact that people questioning all this negative energy that everybody knows is negative, it's crazy. You should be checking other people that's supporting this negativity. You should be checking the people that's supporting Africa Bambaataa. They supporting him because they are satanic like him. Hello? Who else gonna support him? But another person doing the same shit. Another person that can't afford for that bootleg Kemetic shit that he doing to be exposed. You have a lot of people that are bootleg. They're not really what y'all think they are. They're not really natural, pure, positive Islamic people. They're not naturally pure, positive Christians. You go into Christian church, there's so much fuckery going on in there, you wouldn't believe it. The pastor in there sleeping with everybody's wife. One minute he counseling somebody's wife over their marriage problem, and the next thing you know, the couple went on ahead and broke up, and the pastor sleeping with her ass. That's what happened with this pastor, Reverend right here. He was sleeping with motherfuckers. He go counsel the brother and the sister. They end up breaking up. He end up with the woman. He doing all that shit in the name of Christ, let him tell it. But he ain't even teaching Christ in the right way. They using that shit for some satanic Luciferian shit. Christ ain't told them to do none of that shit they doing. That's how they get y'all. They go and they take the Bible, they take Christ, they take all that shit, they defile it, they throw it out there. Then you turn on the Bible, you turn on Christ. Christ and the Bible looking at you like, motherfucker, we ain't tell y'all, we ain't said none of that. Y'all need to check the people that's defiling this shit. So, when you see these dudes out here, man, and you see them, flashing Kemet, just be careful. Because, Kemet is a stronghold for witchcraft. It is what it is. That's the place to learn how to fix the dice where they always come up 7. That's the place with the card tricks. That's the place where all these magicians and sorcerers that's doing all this magic, all that shit started in Kemet. Kemet was the ones had the original big magic shows, and people come out and watch the great magicians. Way before Europe didn't even have running water, didn't even have no infrastructure or nothing. They was already in Kemet doing magic shows, sawing women in half. All of that stuff is Kemetic. When you go to the boat and you go gamble, that whole setup comes from Kemet. That's the first place gambling. Real talk. Don't let nobody fool you. And don't think, that's why I say, scholars, what can scholars tell you when the people that's doing the archaeology is not showing y'all everything? So the scholars that's studying these things, they limit it because the archaeologists are not showing them everything they are finding, okay? A lot of the vampires and warlocks were hid in tombs in Kemet and sealed. So when these archaeologists go and open some of these tombs, some of the spirits that come out that get on them don't be good. So you see them putting all these things up in these museums, you don't know what type of energy them mummies and them bones and them tombs is putting out. But I can tell you this is not all positive. It's not all positive. A lot of us got blessed because they toured around the world with Tut, and Tut put the positive energy out there to awaken a lot of us. But a lot of them other ones is negative energy. And this is why the Most High God, the creator of all things, never gave any of those other mummies or any of those wicked rulers the power Tut was given to be toured all over the world, because the creator wanted the positive energy to go around the world. You see? See, one thing we used to teach is this. Some people will look at them and say, man, they got Tut, they got our stuff. But like we used to say, they got Tut, they shining them. Tut got security, 24-hour security. They polishing them. They got them in glass. They work for our great ruler. He owns them. They think they own Tut, but Tut owns them. They are spending all of their energy taking care of our brother Tut, the young god, young Pharaoh. Okay? They are spending all their energy taking care of that young Pharaoh. So that young Pharaoh is still in charge. And he is not under Amen, he is under Atan. That's how he got killed, for switching from the one that was promoting negativity over to the positive. And that's not saying everybody under Amen is negative, because many of the brothers and sisters under Amen didn't know all this negativity was going on. It's the same way, like a lot of New Wabians didn't know York was on that shit. A lot of them, when they found out, they was jumping ship right before he went to prison. Same thing. Look at the African Hebrew Israelites in Israel. It's a lot of funny shit was happening over there, okay? I'm not at liberty to tell you all the details about the Nuwabians or the Hebrews in Israel. Go look it up. It's a lot of funny style shit was going on with these spiritual, positive, religious movements, because they always attract negativity. Okay, I'm telling y'all what I know. Every time something gets powerful like that, you have people get in and they can't take it. And the negative force takes over. And the negative force takes them over and takes control of them. So you'll have a brother, he'll start playing reggae. He'll get on stage and the girls get to screaming and hollering. He on stage playing reggae. And the next thing you know, that brother get all off his square what he was on, and the fame and everything get him, and now he get this power of people looking up to him, and he start using it. You've seen scholars. I ain't got to say no name. You've seen people from the ground roots come up, be doing debates, come up, be teaching. And the next thing you know, the brother get caught up, boom, straight demon. You know, you young people, beware, okay? Everything is not what it looks like. You have to make sure that you stay to yourself, you deal with your family, you eat right. This is where the plant-based food comes in at. It will drive this negative energy away. Many of the herbs and spices you're cooking with is a positive form of healing, positive magic that drives away negative energy. As the smoke is driven away, so drive them away. So when you cook with certain sage and certain rosemary and certain things, and you eating these things are driving cannabis. These things drive evil away. So when you see a guy that just hates marijuana, that's because the motherfucker's evil. Real talk. No, he don't like marijuana because it drives his wicked ass away. Okay? I hope you learned something. Stay out of them groups because you're not going to be prepared for what's hidden. There's things that's hidden from your eye when you're in the group. And most time the people running the group can't handle the power and they become fallen angels. Oh God.